I'm here to tell you the story of a composer, starting now. A composer is a person who takes small pieces of music and puts them together to form a story, kind of the way the letters in a word form that word, and then you combine a couple of words together and get a sentence, and then you combine a couple of sentences together and get a story. A composer's job is to take small pieces of music, combine them, get a few rhythms, combine those, get a few measures, combine those, get a big phrase, combine those, and then eventually have an entire piece of music. Composers will take those pieces of music and then ask musicians to perform them. Or sometimes a musician will say, "Hello, Mr. Composer, will you write a piece of music for me?" And that's called a commission. Let's talk about your composer of the month. Today we're going to learn about one of the greatest composers of all time, Johann Sebastian Bach. Now, I know it looks like we're in a crochet lesson, but I just got my times mixed up. Don't worry about that. Johann Sebastian Bach was born in Eisenach, Germany. Everyone say Germany. Bach was born in Germany into a large family of musicians. His father played the violin, his relatives were fiddlers, they were pipers, and they played the oboe and the organ. It was no wonder that Bach grew up loving music. Bach's parents died when he was about 10 years old, so he went to live with his oldest brother, Christoph, who taught him to play the harpsichord and the organ. During his time there, Bach went to school, and he became known for his beautiful singing voice. And then he learned how to play the violin, and then he became interested in the organ and pursued church music. He began composing after he got a job at Arnstadt when he was 18 years old. When he was 22, Bach moved to Mühlhausen and married Maria Barbara Bach. They had 7 children together. He was known as an amazing musician and a composer. He got a job for the Duke of Weimar and eventually composed Toccata and Fugue in D minor. Today, you're going to listen to Toccata and Fugue in D minor with an adult. He also composed all kinds of other music, cantatas and keyboard suites, and even chamber music. When he was 32, Bach took a job with Prince Leopold, where he composed the Brandenburg concertos for clavichord and harpsichord. Bach's wife Maria passed away, and the next year he met another woman and married her. This was Anna Magdalena Wulken, who was a good singer and a musician. Together, Anna and Bach had 13 more children. All in all, that means Bach had 7 plus 13, that's 20 children. Do you have 20 children in your family? I have 1 brother and 1 sister. How many do you have? Bach had 20 kids. Imagine having 19 brothers and sisters running around your house all the time. That would be kind of crazy, wouldn't it? Well, one of his children was named Wilhelm, and Bach wrote a little book for the keyboard for his 9-year-old son Wilhelm, who eventually grew up to be a famous musician also. Bach had a few children who grew up to be musicians, composers, pianists, performers, and that was sort of how his family became well known. He liked to boast that his whole family together playing music was kind of like an ensemble. He didn't need anyone else but his wife or his sons and daughters to create an orchestra or a choir because there were so many of them. In 1723, Bach accepted the job of music director of St. Thomas's School in Leipzig. He composed many of his most famous works while he was there, like the Christmas Oratorio and the St. Matthew Passion. Bach died in 1750, and he is now considered one of the greatest masters of the Baroque period. The Baroque period is a time in music where simplicity went away and fancy flourishes came into popularity. You'll hear it when you listen to Toccata and Fugue in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach. When you're finished here, now that you've heard a little bit about Bach's life, I'd like you to click on the links and watch the videos that I've included with an adult. Until next time, Valete Griffins! Alright, it's time for me to get to my actual crochet lesson. I've gotta go. Great job today.